Hi, my name is Aaron Pearson. I am on the board of the Bethlehem Foundation, and I'm here today with Louise Matson, who is the Executive Director of the Division of Indian Work. And it's great to have you here today.
Well, thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
It's great to have an opportunity to talk a little bit about the work that you're doing with the Division of Indian Work and the way that the Bethlehem Foundation has supported that over the years. Why don't you talk a little bit about your background?
Great. Okay. So, Buju, Louise Matson, Indigenakaz, Makwan Dudem, Gawa Babakinikag, and Dunjaba. My name is Louise Matson. I'm Bear Clan from the White Earth Nation. I have a Norwegian Icelandic mother, so I always put myself in context. It's pretty common for Native people here in the urban areas to be multiracial and also multi-tribal. I've been at Division of Indian Work for 23 years. Been the director for the past 11 years. I came there to run their after-school programs, and I'm a teacher by training.
So you have some connections to Bethlehem yourself and your family. Can you talk about that?
Yes, I do. So I'm a Matson. Marianne Matson is my mother-in-law. My husband grew up going to this church. All his siblings were baptized here, and most were married here, and also have enjoyed the musical concerts here and art exhibits. So again, I grew up not far from here and still live not far from here, so I'm very well aware of everything that goes on here at Bethlehem.
Talk about what you do at the Division of Indian Work.
Well, I'm the executive director. I've been the executive director for 11 years, and so I oversee 4 program areas and 50 staff, most of whom are Native American, and we serve close to 9,000 people last year. So we have a food shelf. We have after-school programming. We work with foster care youth. We work with elders. One of our newest programs is grandparents raising grandchildren. A lot of our grandparents across our country are raising their children primarily because of struggles with drug addiction. We have counseling groups. We have in-home parenting groups where we actually go in and work with young moms. Parenting classes at DIW, a huge doula program where we have about 40 trained doulas, and they're also lactation coaches, and we work with the moms before, during, and after baby is born.
Talk about the mission of the Division of Indian Work.
Well, our mission is to serve urban American Indian people, to help them recognize their full potential. We do that through education, leadership development, and with a cultural lens. We do a lot of partnerships in the community. So there's probably 30-some different Native serving organizations in Minneapolis and St. Paul, primarily in the Phillips Powderhorn. And so we partner a lot with our agencies. For example, we have an Indigenous Food Network, and that is programmed through Dream of Wild Health, but they support a nutritionist at DIW. Well, he's a Native nutrition chef, so he cooks healthy Indigenous food and also teaches youth how to do things like, help harvest a bison, which they just did in December, and then bring the meat back and we cook with it. So, wow. So they pay for, Dream of Wild Health pays for that staff, and that staff person works at DIW. And we also are part of the Justice Collaborative, which is African American and American Indian people working towards healthy birth outcomes for African American and Native moms. And our biggest project right now is working to establish the first American Indian birthing center in the country. It'll be here in Minneapolis. So we're just pretty excited about that work.
Why do you believe it's really important to provide these services through that Native lens?
Well, I think that's the game changer for Native people, is when you do culturally based activities. That's why people come to DIW. So our community, so often they are in the minority every other place, school, work, everywhere they go. So to go to DIW where there's other Native people there's Native art, that's a Native focus, Native music, Native smells, Native medicines being used, and then going to attend a birthing class where you can learn how to make a moss bag, or you can learn something culturally specific, that you can sing songs in your language to your baby.
The Bethlehem Foundation provided a grant for a program at the Division of Indian Work. Can you talk a little bit about that program?
Yes, I mentioned earlier we work with youth that have been in foster care or are still in foster care. So this is stay in the community. And we are working with these young adults like a parent or a family member would. So they attend weekly classes at DIW, work on life skills. We'll help them with jobs, with housing, getting into school. We have a member right now that's at Augsburg. So just like a family. So these young adults are also learning leadership skills. Right now, a smaller group of them is up in Duluth at the Tomorrow's Leaders Today conference. They've helped plan Foster Care Day on the Hill every year. So they're learning these leadership skills in addition to their just regular adulting skills.
And the grant that Foundation provided supported housing vouchers.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest challenges that across the board, a lot of people that are our client relatives that come to DIW are facing challenges with that, but particularly young people now. It's hard to find affordable places to live in Minneapolis, and we do have vouchers that we get as part of the grant, but we always run out. So to be able to provide the support for our youth, additional support it's life-changing. If you don't have housing stability, then it's hard to get to your job. It's hard to get to school. It's hard if you can't make that basic need.
What are really the keys to managing this transition for these young people out of foster care to be independent adults?
Gosh, it's like everything, it's and a lot, unfortunately, you don't see a lot of life skills taught at school, like how to manage your money, your checkbook, your savings account, how to budget, how much can you afford for rent or apartment, how to get into school or training of the trade, something that can help these young people get the skills they need to determine their own future. We actually have folks that are working in the program that had lived experience that used to be in the program. So that's really ideal. They know better than I do what the challenges that they face.
Louise, talk about the changes that you've seen in some of these young people from going through this program.
Oh, it's just it's amazing. Like I said, they're working at DIW now. They're amazing young leaders, and it's just given support and given some skills and some tools. They can really just thrive. So that's what we want. Is we don't want to just survive. We don't want our people just out there surviving. They should be thriving. So these are, in many cases, just really talented, smart young people. They just need a chance.
Is there anything else that the Bethlehem Foundation community should know about Division of Indian Work overall, or this program in particular?
Well, I think overall, I was talking to one of my colleagues earlier. It's one of my responsibilities as a director is to go out and make the case and try to get people to donate. And it's so important that people support Native people because we know about our disparities. We know why they are. But I never want people to feel sorry for Native people. There's no reason to feel sorry for Native people and hold